Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Attack of the Amiga Clones. This is where we're going to take a look at an arcade original and then a loving homage on our favorite computer. So today we're going to be looking at City Connection, and CarVup, otherwise known as CarVup, because I don't know how to read things properly when they're cool guy style. Anyway, City Connection was released in the arcades in 1985. I never played this in the arcade. I don't think I ever saw it in an arcade. I played this on the Nintendo Entertainment System, but it is available in the arcades. I'm looking at the CarVup website right now. It says that this game is pretty rare. It ranks 8 on a scale of 100, 1 being the least common and 100 being the most often seen. So I'm not alone in never having seen this in an arcade. Jalico put it out. Jalico, I think is actually how you say it. Jalico, again, you know, I'm sure they put out tons of arcade games, but I know them mostly as a NES developer. It looks like a lot of their games were originally put out as arcade machines and then later went on to have NES releases, but looks like they were active all the way up until the mid-90s. 94 looks like 96 is the last release that I see from them, World PK Soccer. But anyway, that's a little bit about Jalico. Let's take a look at the arcade version and see what it's like. Okay, so let's get right into it here. Push the 1 or 2 player button. That's the start button, I thought. Let's see here. There we go. So in City Connection, the aim is simple. You are driving your hot little hatchback, and the idea is that you've got to paint the town not red, but green. And as you do this, you traverse the world. You start out in New York City, and your sworn enemy are these police cars. And you destroy them by hitting them with cans of oil, like you do in real life. And you can chain these guys together and rack up big points. Every once in a while, you'll see a balloon. If you grab that balloon, that's big points. That's the big points. So we want to try and get that balloon. Unfortunately, sometimes we look at the balloon and we don't look at where we're going and we die. Yeah, Pixels at Dawn in the chat. We are recording this with a live studio audience. Pixels at Dawn in the chat says, I do love a good paint the level game, and I agree. Paint the level games. There's a game called Roll 'em Up in the arcade, I think. That is, it's a good one. There's also another game called Crush Roller that is a paint the level game. There's something satisfying about completing a task like that, but it's more than just that. You know, my first ever new car that I ever bought looked just like this. It was a 2003 Volkswagen Golf, 2-door Golf, and you know, the hatchback rarely gets featured in race or in car games. It's not really what you call a sports car, and so that made me feel good about this game too. All right, we're gonna grab this balloon. Oh yeah! I think the balloon might give you an extra life. I'm not sure what the balloon does. But the music is good in this game. You know, this is one of my all-time favorites because it's a lot like Pang in that you're doing something very simple, but you're given good music and you're given lots of interesting backgrounds. And as I get close to completing this level, you will see what I'm talking about. I just got a little bit more to do up here. And this should do it right there. Oh yeah. I also love seeing your car sort of go like that. this is a game that I believe is one of the rare games on a Nintendo game that actually features a smoking protagonist. You are a hot rodding type guy, a speed racer type guy, and in the cutscenes it shows you lighting up a ciggy, and of course it was a different time. But it is weird to see that sort of thing in a Nintendo game. As you can see now, we've traveled to the hallowed halls of Old Blighty. And, you know, it's funny, I went to London, but I didn't do any of the touristy things. I didn't see Parliament. I didn't see the Tower of London. I went to some sort of like a film and television museum, and I went to Madame Tussauds, and that was it. I was out of there. So, missed opportunities. So anyway, we're not going to linger on City Connection, although I could. Trust me, I could linger. Now that we've seen what City Connection brings to the table, let's take a look at the Amiga and see what it's got going on. So, CarVup. This immediately makes me think about Who Framed Roger Rabbit. You've got that car. I'm sure that car has a name. I don't know what it is. Nice banging soundtrack. The Core Design Limited. They have a somewhat spotty track record on the Amiga. They've got some highs. They've got some lows. Okay. So in this, it looks like as we drive along the ground, instead of painting the ground, we have, well, I thought that we were supposed to pick up the fruit. Maybe you've got to continuously double back to pick up the fruit? Oh, no. I don't know what the fruit was for there. Okay, but we're filling in rivets, apparently. Turbo, all right. And of course you got your demons. We've all got our demons. Yeah, so I guess you just kind of meander about collecting this fruit. Okay. This is another one of these games where you're not sure what's in the foreground and what's in the background. Because, like, I thought I couldn't traverse through that barrel, but it was just something in the way. All right, so I beat the first level. If this was on the ranking of Amiga platformers, it would be a great platformer. Oh my gosh, look at these guys. Noticing a distinct lack of music in this game. Unfortunate. This is the kind of game that really could use some music. All right. Yep. And just this is a weird thing that we've got going on right here, where we're picking up the fruit. Look at that. Oh. So, and you can't just like jump. Oh, okay. You can't just like jump off a ledge, or you can't just drive off a ledge. You've got to physically jump off it, which makes things difficult. Yeah. It is sort of Mothman-ish. I think the Mothman would be proud to be featured in a game like this. Was this a... can somebody in the chat check for me? This was a commercially released game, right? It obviously was. Core Designs made it. The fruit thing is just the weirdest. Like, I can't. Like, what? I don't get why that's there. Now you are collecting letters. I see those in the bottom. Oh boy. Okay, so no. Okay. So, TeamSpeak Regulars, Aaron informs us that the programmer was named Rob Toon, and Toon Unfortunately spelled with an E, but he gets bonus points for trying. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to get that flashing square or not. Okay, so now we're getting into the painting here. See, I wanted that. I think I wanted that square. There's stuff dropping out of the sky. There's squares squaring around. There's got that weird guy. There's a lot going on here. Some might say too much. And I don't know what that means. Does that just mean I go faster? Does that mean the demon comes out? Oh, I only need the U. Here it is. Okay. Bonus. Oh. Death. It's a very odd game. It's a very, very odd game. Just, do you want to look at that picture when you're entering your high score? Does that make you feel good about firing this game up again? I gotta try it again. I think the Jeep still looks at you that way from time to time, Aaron. All right. Of course, you've got to have the classic Amiga random voice samples, the Moo Moo from the Monkey Man. Like, okay. So you can run into that guy. This game is like a nightmare in Toontown. See that that jug that I've collected at the bottom of the screen? Like, what's that? What's that for? Well, it's not there anymore. What was that? I got new tires? New fender. Okay. I'm coming for you, don't worry. Now it's nighttime. This is a wacky game. It's like Castlevania 2. Alright. Coming around. Look at... I want to be above the sky. What kind of world is this where all these things are just dropping out of the sky all the time? Listen, you gotta grab where you can. And sometimes you gotta grab that dangly bit. Uh-oh. It's weird, like, why are there like, I guess they want to show that this is like a real working construction site, so they put ladders there. But it's just like, where are the people? Alright, I'm gonna get over this guy. Oh, man. Still don't know what that means. Oh yeah, that summons the demon. I forgot. Yeah. It was a real mistake not to include background music in this game. Well, I think that's the last one. That's the last area. Ooh. Yeah, because you can't just drive off a ledge, it makes nailing those things really difficult. You got to jump at just the right time. That's too... Ah! All right. Oh, okay. You know, one might wonder why they didn't just put something like "hurry." Turbo usually implies something good, you know? Like, you got turbo. I didn't look up the documentation on this game, so I don't know, the backstory. Maybe I should have. Maybe it would explain what's going on here. I will say that it does, not being able to accidentally drive off the ledges makes it a lot easier to not leave little bits on the edge, which is a problem with City Connection. I think this game has lore and canon. It's got it all. This game definitely has sound effects. I'll give you that. No, any game where you spell extra is gold. Wonder who was in charge of providing the moo moo sound effect there. You just hear things like crashing off screen. You don't know what's going on. There is some nice parallax there with the chains. Look at this thing. Exploding road cone. Check. That's right. That's why I said Mr. Do and all the great Universal games are the ones where you spell extra. Man, is that okay? All right. Like that. Yeah. Ooh. All right. So, I want my mummy. I'm sorry. Boy, you just look so sad and pathetic as you I mean, you don't want to play again because you don't want to put your poor car through what it's been through. I mean, look at its face. Look at its face. Oh my gosh. Well, folks, I'm going to enter my initials here because I want the world to know. I think I can put the whole thing in here. Yeah, I think I can. Bam. CarVup, officially a better game than City Connection. So, we've seen what the arcade brought to the table and how the Amiga answered, which is kind of the point of our series here of Attack of the Clones. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you want more hot Amiga action, make sure you check out the Amigos Everything Amiga podcast. And I will see you next time on Attack of the Amiga Clones. Adios!